moving that jab up and down. And then when you go downstairs, take that downstairs, come up with that left hook. It's going to be open because it's going to fall down into it. Anytime you jab down low, just keep trying to come over the top.
Like you could say, hey, you know what? I can't beat that Mayweather style. I was too young, but look, I did it now against Crawford.
I forget Mayweather a long time ago. This is different for me, you know? I lost that day and that's it. I learned a lot.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Canelo Alvarez was clearly upset after hearing that Terence Crawford sparred with Floyd Mayweather. During training camp, Canelo said the fight has now become personal, not just business. He believes Crawford has been disrespecting him on purpose, trying to make him look weak or outdated. For Canelo, this is no longer just another fight. It's now about respect.
Tell me a little bit about that. Did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like walk me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Terence Crawford doesn't see Canelo's career as impressive as some people do. He says many of Canelo's biggest wins came against fighters who were already past their prime, like Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Sergey Kovalev. And the one, legend in his prime, Floyd Mayweather, beat Canelo clearly. Crawford also feels disrespected by how
about Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say after I beat him.
Promoter Eddie Hearn admits Canelo has a natural size advantage, but he still gives Crawford a real shot at winning. He says Crawford's confidence and focus make him dangerous no matter the weight. Hearn believes that in boxing, mindset can beat muscle. If Crawford controls the pace and distance, he could pull off the upset.
Not for him, like not against him, sorry, for him. Like he's so, I think he has no doubt that he beats Canelo Alvarez.
Of course.
I really like Terence, by the way. I think he's a great fighter. But I have to say, like, tell me his major significant wins.
Well, obviously Errol Spence.
Yeah, but come on.
No, but he beat a guy who was in the top 5 pound for pound, and he destroyed him. That's really never happened.
No, I agree.
In the history.
I agree.
of
I mean,
boxing.
look, he was coming off, you know, some eye problems, but
Nobody was saying that when he was beating
we're giving that
Danny
credit.
and Ugas.
Tell me more.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but
that's a big win. Now,
keep going.
Your guy from the UK, who he stopped him, what, in the 5th round, was it?
Kell Brook. Finished by then. Yeah, go on, keep going.
Okay, he stopped somebody that nobody's ever really can hurt.
Well,
Sean Porter.
I mean, yeah, but that was about 8 years before, and Errol Spence.
That wasn't 8. What do you mean?
Yeah,
8
when he
years
beat
before?
Sean Porter.
No, that was in 2023.
Who?
Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter.
No, I'm talking about Kell Brook against Sean Porter.
No, I was talking about Bud. I'm not talking about that. But he stopped him, though. Nobody's ever able to really hurt Sean.
By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
that was a great
this
win.
Is like an open
and he didn't have a lot of names at 140, but Postal and all those guys, those are good fighters. They weren't big names. Just like Bam, he doesn't have the great. He doesn't have a whole lot of great names. Just like
Strada.
In a way, he does have two great names.
By the way, he's one of my favorite
doesn't
fighters.
have a bunch of names.
John Ryder, who has fought Canelo, knows just how hard it is to face him. He says Canelo's physical strength is no joke, and moving up in weight won't be easy for Crawford. But Ryder also believes Crawford has the skills to handle it. He says Crawford is smart, adaptable, and can overcome the size gap with his technique.
Can he go up 2 divisions? A lot of people in his camp believe that he's even going to stop him, but yeah, what's your thought?
If there's any man that could do it, it would be Terence Crawford, but I just think the sheer size of Canelo is going to be too much on the line.
So do you think size will be too much? I mean, you were in there with Canelo. You landed good shots and he took them, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent, but I think the size will be the factor on the night, and it'd just be too big, too strong.
Crawford has been carefully planning for this fight. He says he has two options. 1, apply pressure and keep Canelo uncomfortable. 2, use slick defense counters and footwork just like Mayweather did. Crawford knows he won't have the same size advantage Mayweather had, but he's confident in his speed.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back, you know, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's 2 ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo. You know, he is right. Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or the defense of someone like Mayweather stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.
Joe Rogan shared his thoughts too. He says Canelo is still elite, but he's showing signs of slowing down, especially with speed and stamina. On the other hand, Crawford is at his absolute best right now. Rogan believes the timing favors Crawford. He says this isn't a mismatch, it's a real fight between the greats.
So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win. He's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
If Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Why do you say that? Same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out.
Legendary commentator Jim Lampley sees this as more than just a fight. To him, it's a battle between the proud warriors chasing legacy. He admits the size difference is real, but says both fighters are defined more by their heart and determination than their physical size. Neither man is willing to back
that Crawford is going to fight Canelo, because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is 2 action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Max Kellerman calls Terence Crawford the current pound-for-pound king. He respects what Canelo has done, but believes his prime is behind him. Meanwhile, Crawford is dominating every opponent, no matter the weight. Max also pointed out that Canelo has looked vulnerable in recent fights like against Dmitry Bivol and even John Ryder.
Best pound-for-pound fight. But Crawford, apologies to the monster. Crawford, that's my vote for best pound. Canelo Alvarez universally recognized that these 2 guys, the last 2 best pound in the world.
Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas shared his honest view. He says Canelo is a great, well-rounded fighter, but when he talks about Crawford, his tone changes. Atlas says Crawford is special. He praises Crawford's ability to adapt, stay calm, under pressure, and finish fights with precision. Atlas believes Crawford may belong to a rare class of fighters the kind that'll—
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. And I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? You know, but those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
So what do you think? Does Terence Crawford have the tools to beat Canelo? Some say his win over Errol Spence proves it, but others question Spence's condition. After that car accident, one thing—
sparring, but I had at least over 15 years of knowing him, amateur, professional. I've seen where he started. I've seen how he's gotten better over time, but I also just know what resides in him. He's a dog, he's a beast, and he's out to prove something too. So I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him. But I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
A lot of people say that version that you fought was probably the best, Canelo Alvarez. And since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined.
Yeah.
Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing, legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot. Whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points, you know?
A different approach in terms of crafting a plan and going into camp.
No, not really. You know, we know the type of fighter Canelo is. So, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. You know, and then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. You know, his mental game is sharp. His physical game is sharp. Strength wise, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
So you heard about what Canelo said about Terence Crawford's resume already and how he has no elite fighters on his resume. And say what you want about that, agree to disagree or whatever. What do you guys think of Crawford saying this about Canelo? Canelo fought great champions, but most were past their prime. But when they weren't, you saw what happened. Lara, Mayweather, and Bivol. Obviously, Mayweather was past his prime already, I'd say. But he's right. I rewatched the Lara fight, and, that Cuban style is just tricky to deal with. And, a lot of people would say that Lara won that fight. And then Bivol, it was, I don't need to convince you about that. That fight was a clear-cut victory for Bivol. And it just showed that Canelo isn't this unbeatable person. With the right set of skills, you can beat him. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Has Terence Crawford fought any elite boxers? You could say, Errol Spence, but then, after the whole horrible accident that he had. So who knows, right?
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body the feeling of somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
I go off here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by, does he need any introduction, Hall of Fame legend Roy Jones Jr. here in the UK. There's a few questions about the US guys. Obviously, Tank and Lamont Roach, we saw the first fight. Lamont Roach shocked the world. What do you think happens in a rematch if they fight?
I think he shocked the world again. But the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, different personality, different motivation. And I think Roach will do good again, but I think Tank will be more dominant this time.
And obviously, we know if Canelo wins against William Skull, he will fight Terence Crawford in September. Who would you favor in that fight?
It's a hard one to call. And I'm going to tell you why it's hard to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove whether he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo come to the dance.